Okay, let me just see here. Don't want my phone to fall. Dang it. Well, it's gonna fall if this damn thing keeps shaking. Anyway. Okay. So, hi, my name's not important. But what is at the moment is my knowledge of music theory. Hallelujah. Okay. This is a whiteboard with a bunch of stuff on it about music and notes and chords and stuff. So, inversions. Yes. Okay, chord theory, something I really kind of like. It's kind of fearful for many to think about music theory. You know, there are people that are anti-music theory or just don't believe in it. You know, people hate it, they're afraid of it for whatever reason. I don't understand it because it's so fascinating. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So for instructional purposes, this is C major because it's so much easier to deal with than any other chord. If we were in the key of B, for example, or if I threw a B major chord here, there would be like two sharps. And not that it's difficult, it's just plainly there's nothing extra to look at or to deal with. But so just a bunch of dots. Let's see, what does this mean? This is a C major chord. Why? Because this note right here is C, and that gives the chord its name. Kind of simple as that, but the full-on chord, for the full chord, you need the root and the third to distinguish whether it's major or minor. And the fifth kind of gives it strength. It's not always necessary, but if we were dealing with seventh chords, you might want the fifth, but it's, again, unnecessary. It may be necessary definitely in 11th chords or 9th chords, 13th chords, anyhow. 3 notes, that's all we have here. That's all you really need, okay? Just 3 notes, make a chord. 2 notes, arguably, but again, 3 notes right here. So it's the root and the third and the fifth. And the third of C major is the note E. It is a major third. If it were a minor third, it'd be E flat, and that's not what we're dealing with here. So the fifth, the perfect fifth, is the note G. So let's talk about inversions for a second. This is in root position. Root. Now, the first inversion would have the E note on the bottom. The third on the bottom. This is pretty much for all chords, talking about inversions, but specifically the C major, it would have the E. For any other chord, let's just call it the third. And for the second inversion, we would have the fifth in the bass or on the bottom, which in this case of C major is the note G. So, and on the staff, it looks like this on treble clef. Yeah. Okay. So, right here, this little insect. Anyway, C major, C, E, G. First inversion, E, G, and C, kind of just taking this C and moving it up here, flipping it or whatever. But yeah, right there on top. And then the G on the bottom, C, and then E. Kind of just moving it up a notch, or 3, 2.5. Anyway, and over here, it's the same thing, only they're spelled differently. And I stress, okay, that any individual chord is itself no matter how it's spelled. And this, okay, we're talking about context, yeah? Context, okay? Because these inversions could be a completely different chord depending on what you're dealing with, whether it's a chord progression or what key you're centered in. This would B major, it'd be completely different. You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't just be a C major in context when it's inverted. I don't know. Maybe this is arguable, whatever. You know, I do not claim, I don't think that I'm awesome and know everything. I'm not all knowledgeable of the ways of music and things like that. But I know a little bit. If you feel that I'm incorrect, please feel free to comment and say, you suck, you know, or you don't know the damn thing. Whatever the case may be, whatever you're feeling in that moment, okay? Just go ahead, speak freely, I give you permission. But if there's anything kind of questionable, I just might delete you. But anyhow, I doubt that anyone would comment on this anyway. But if you feel that I need correcting, if there's something that I'm missing or whatever, go ahead and say something. Please, please. Because I can admit when I'm wrong, but in this case, I know I'm right. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so so these spellings are just, they look very spread out. But it's still a C major. Why? Because the root and the third are there, and the fifth as well. See, C in root position with the G next, and then the E up top. And so, this first inversion, having the E on the bottom, or the bass in root position, whatever. Well, this isn't root position, just the bass. Anyway, and then the C here, and the G up top. And here, we have the G in the bass, and then the E, the third, and finally the C up top. Now, people do these things for purposes of harmony and melody. Well, in order to harmonize your melody. I guess primarily harmony. Gee, maybe I should have thought this out. Anyway, so C major is spelled C, E, G. The root, C, third, E, fifth, G. First inversion, the E is on the bottom, G, C, to recap. And the fifth for second inversion, G, C, and E. So, not bad. And a C major is a C major is a C major, depending on context, no matter how you spell it. Does that make sense? We're talking about individual chords. Just C major. No specified key, although if there were a key, it would be C major. Now, are there any questions, comments, I hate yous? Go ahead and post. No problem. Thank you for watching, and God bless!